Good evening, everyone. It is truly an honor and a privilege to be chosen as the speaker for today's National Honor Society induction. I believe that gratitude is an action, not an emotion. Each and every day, I choose to be grateful for the life I have been given and the opportunities for which I have worked so hard. This opportunity is one for which I am so grateful. Thank you, Mrs. Taylor and Mrs. Goldstone, for asking me to be here tonight. It is truly a surreal moment to be back at South, speaking to all of you. I literally grew up within the walls of this building. Although I did attend Williamsville South all 4 years of high school, I spent many years here before my freshman year. My mom, or Madame, as a lot of her students called her, was the French teacher here for almost 30 years, ever since I was born. She's now retired, by the way, she's not here anymore. I still have many fond memories coming to work with my mom, coloring in the library, and visiting teachers who quickly became like family. Although I physically may not have grown in height since middle school, I've been wearing heels today, so don't worry, and I still remain the same 5-foot-tall me, I contribute much of my personal growth to the education that I have received in the Williamsville Central School District as I worked my way from Forest Elementary to Mill Middle, and eventually Williamsville South, where I graduated in 2014. As I attempted to write my speech for tonight, it really took me a while to figure out where to start and what to say. It is not the easiest thing in the world to write about a place that holds such a special place in your heart. However, I figured I would start by reminiscing and reflecting on how I've gotten to this place in my life. Ever since I was very young, my mom used to bring my brother and me to South to help her set up her room in August. We helped her by getting out those teacher chairs, you know, like the ones with the wheels, not like the boring desk chairs, but the ones with the wheels. And we would have races up and down the low hallway. As I look back, I'm not really sure how much of a help that actually was, but she never complained, which is probably why they are such fond memories. She also used to bring us to graduation every year. I was always in such awe of graduation on the front lawn, looking up at the bell tower. My mom always told us what a special tradition that was. Then, as the years passed, I was the one setting up classrooms and was the one sitting in those chairs at graduation. For my graduation day, the weather was very iffy all day long. We were waiting for the final decision to be called, inside or outside, and any South student knows that's like the biggest decision of like your 4 years at South, is whether it's gonna be inside or outside. Mr. Boardman eventually announced that it would be outside. I was thrilled, as was the rest of my graduating class. We started the ceremony in the sunshine, and as the graduation progressed, it started absolutely pouring. My straight hair completely curled, the cardboard on my cap shriveled, and my gown was soaking wet. I looked gorgeous, but whatever, not the point. It was pouring so hard that Mr. Boardman asked all of the graduates whether we should finish the ceremony inside. The vote was no, we wanted to stay outside. I looked over at my mom, who was sitting in the section reserved for faculty, and she smiled. Because the beauty of graduation on the lawn was always something that we talked about. The sun finally did come out again on that day, right around the time that the bell was ringing in the bell tower, and we were throwing our caps in the air. Those were the days. Fast forward 6 years later, I now work on Main Street in the village. Those are just a few of the memories I think of when I drive to work and look over at this beautiful building. At the heart of it all, I truly believe that what makes South so special is the community. The faculty, the staff, the friends, but most of all, the sense of family. Sometimes we take that family for granted in the moment until we need them the most. On February 12, 2009, my mom picked my brother and me up from school and said, and I quote because I will never forget what she said, "When you get home, take your shoes off, wash your hands, and sit in the family room. We need to have a family meeting." Honestly, she scared the absolute living daylights out of me. All I could think about was, what in the world did I possibly do to get Madame that upset? She then told me the unexpected, which rocked my world forever. My life's mentor, Susan Whaley, passed away on the Flight 3407 plane crash in Clarence Center. Where do you turn when your life is flipped upside down in a matter of seconds? Throughout my intense grieving process, the support I received from the Williamsville community is something for which I am so grateful. I wanted to do something that would make Susan proud by continuing to touch people's lives as she had touched mine. How does a 12-year-old grieve such a tragedy? You have to understand that I was not the one to go out on a limb or even leave my comfort zone. After much reflection, I found my life's purpose: to volunteer at struggling organizations within the Buffalo community. Since the plane crash, I've accumulated over 3,000 volunteering hours, giving back to those who need it most, just like Susan has done. Susan was an advocate for cross-cultural dialogue and coexistence. As I reflected on the world's current state, I have realized that in a world filled with so much intolerance of others based on our differences, we must respond by affirming diversity as a strength through kindness and acceptance. With this driven mindset to end hate while honoring Susan's legacy, I began Rocks of Unity at 20 years old, right here in Buffalo, New York, to end the ever-growing issue of intolerance by spreading kindness and acceptance. In the past 3 years since inception, it has grown from one school here in Buffalo to an outreach of over 25 different countries in over 35 different states. Rocks of Unity is a brand of educational workshops geared towards individuals of all ages, which affirms diversity as a strength through kindness, acceptance, and unity. We invite people of all backgrounds, religions, ethnicities, genders, sexual orientations, and social distinctiveness to come together, decorate a rock that expresses their identity, and then turn those creations into permanent art installations. This can be in the form of diverse rock gardens, rock walls, and walkways, as we help to reinforce the values of inclusion, acceptance, and kindness, while rejecting intolerance and hate. With the enactment of Rocks of Unity, citizens will gain a heightened awareness of these prominent issues and learn how to better understand each other, ultimately building stronger communities. When I saw how much power this one movement holds, I decided to take this to the collegiate level by initiating a campus-wide movement at my college, St. John Fisher in Rochester. With over 300 participants in the first hour and a half, it truly just shows how amazing our small campus was. Faculty, staff, and students alike were able to come together on one night to leave their mark forever on our campus while uniting to break the cycle of intolerance. I am proud to say that this movement has led to the creation of over 2,000 rocks on our campus alone. From here, a permanent art installation was created. All of the rocks were placed on concrete panels. Outside of the library, there was a big empty wall. These concrete panels were mounted on that wall, since it is an area with a lot of foot traffic. When you take a step back, you will be able to see our Fisher family. However, when you take a closer look, you are able to see the diverse individuals that make up our Fisher family. In addition to Rocks of Unity workshops, I post a daily dose of kindness on Rocks of Unity's 3 social media sites, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, each day to spread kindness on a digital platform. I now have a branch of Rocks of Unity called Rocks of Unity Rockstars. It is here where celebrities endorse what I do. They decorate a rock to represent their identity, and then I place those rocks seamlessly into community gardens. Kindness is a human value and is not dictated by one's social status. I have been a guest on national talk shows, including Harry Connick Jr.'s show, as well as featured as a promotional partner in a commercial with Ellen DeGeneres and Cheerios for the 1 Million Acts of Good campaign. People ask me all the time how I came up with Rocks of Unity. I wish I could tell them that it was this fancy brainstorm at my desk in my office that took hours. in reality, and I'll let you all in on a little secret, it was a lesson plan that I came up with in the shower, because honestly, shower thoughts are the best thoughts, I think, personally. It felt right, it felt necessary, and most importantly, it felt like the time. My education in the Williamsville Central School District prepared me enough to not only notice an issue at hand, but to take action to make a change. As I am standing here now at 23 years old, the quiet, reserved high school me would never have expected to be in a position of helping to build community across such a wide platform. However, I have seen firsthand, through my time here at South, the meaning of true community. It is being able to honor one another while understanding that our differences don't divide us, they unite us. As you are all close to moving into the next chapter of your lives, remember that life is about making a difference. No matter how big nor how small, make a difference. The legacy you leave behind will be your achievement. People will not remember you for how many all-nighters you pulled finishing assignments, your class ranking, or even your grades. They will remember you for how you made them feel. I am fully aware that when you leave here tonight, you probably won't remember who I am or most of what I said. But please try to remember. There will be days where all you want to do is race in your chair, you know, the ones with the wheels, where the whole day seems iffy, and then it just starts pouring, and when coming home brings a sense of peace and happiness. So, go and win that chair race. Remember that the rain will always turn to sunshine, and remember that South really is a great place of peace and happiness. Each time you drive down Main Street, look up and smile proudly at that bell tower. Go out on a limb, tackle the unexpected, leave your comfort zone, and please, please, most of all, remember that in a world where you can be anything, be kind. Thank you for your attention tonight. Go Bellies.